can be for now.
It can't be if with it. Can you press present? Oh,
I think we're here. I think people
We
are
are
here.
live.
here we go.
Great. Excellent. It's about 1 o'clock right now. Welcome everybody. It is great to be together, and just keep an eye on the clock. We're going to probably give it about 2 minutes for people to arrive. I know certainly as people do, we want to respect your time. We want to, and if you can, just say hi to us real quick in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Let us know maybe where you're coming, where you're joining from, maybe what. Yeah. Let's see if anyone's there.
It's off conference
There we go.
season, so these are the time where Greg and I, we take a break from conferences. So we don't get to see shop owners for a few months. So love to see everyone shop in the chat. I know there's going to be a lot of people who we recognize. Hopefully, some new faces who signed on recently.
Yeah, I see Midtown in the house. Aloha. Jeff always has to put in front of our face that he's in Hawaii. Thanks, Jeff. That's always good to hear. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we're going to get started here in about 2 minutes. But we just wanted to give everyone, I know everyone kind of getting connected, make sure everyone's good. So yeah, make sure you just say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from, either your shop name or your city state.
Some good partners in here. We got Susan from Advance here is joining us.
Excellent.
Awesome.
3 shops from Massachusetts. I see my Pennsylvania people in the house. Mark,
Got
good to see you.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll get started here in just about another minute. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us as we just give people a chance to get connected. We want to make sure people are with us right from the beginning. We got some great content to talk about. A lot of talking about things that we're working on, things that are ready to go, things that we're excited about. So yeah, keep saying hi to us in the chat. We're going to get started here in a second. There's Mike, Eurasian. Great to see you, Mike.
Mike Walkley's a OG customer.
He is OG.
I see Tim Jenkins. I hope he's in his auto op shirt that Steve you gave him at the Shop Fix last summer. I'm sure he's in it.
You got some swag.
Who we got from Canada? I see a couple Canadian shops in the house. It's always fun working with Canada. There's all kinds of little different things up in Canada. Tires are a whole nother different game, and so we have some features.
I see 8. Justin, great to see you. 8 locations in Oklahoma. I think we have a couple Oklahoma folks here today, if not more.
We have Mark from OilX Grease Monkey.
Excellent. Great. Just so everyone knows, we're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. Really appreciate. I know some people are still getting connected, so great to have. We're going to get started here really quickly. And great. Yeah, Tim's got a few of our shirts in the closet. That's good. Great. Well, why don't we 10 more seconds and we're going to get started. Thanks everyone again for joining us. We're really grateful. We never take it for granted that you're taking in 45 minutes to an hour out of your day to be with us, to go over and talk about things that we've got going on. So I think, Stephen, you said Canada. I'm seeing a bunch of folks from Canada show. That's awesome. There's Brett. Excellent. Well, why don't we get started? On behalf of myself, the team, we have Gabriella here, Tyler, Greg, Stephen. When others on our team are here as well, we're super excited that we could be together. We, like I said, we never take it for granted that we can have a great audience of folks who are using our products or maybe interested in our products. And we know we have partners and friends here as well. And so we're really grateful that we could be together. Let's jump right into it. This is going to be a fast paced. Please, as you're going through, just some logistics, you have the chat. Everyone seems like they found it already, which is awesome. We have some people that are going to be capturing questions that are coming in. So if you have questions, go ahead and put it in there. Our team is going to pull those questions out, and at the end, we're going to have a Q&A time. Some others may even jump in and give some answers or things as we go. So feel free to do that. See, some of you found the emojis too, which is great. So, well, let's get started if we could. So you see, we've titled today the Ultimate Town Hall, and the Ultimate Town Hall is probably a number of reasons that we'll talk about Ultimate today. But as some of you here, some of you have, in the past, you've come to a Steer Town Hall, and others you have come from an Auto Ops Town Hall. But today we're sort of putting them together in the Ultimate Town Hall, where, as you guys know, Steer and Auto Ops have come together, and we wanted to make sure that we provide you a real sort of unified experience, even for our town halls, to say, how do we make sure that we're giving you all the information that you need about Steer and Auto Ops and our entire product suite to make sure you're getting everything in one place. So thanks for coming to the Ultimate Town Hall. We'll mention a little bit more today about Ultimate, but we're excited to share some things with you. So that's a quick look at the agenda. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. We're going to talk about some of the why, what, and hows. We're going to talk about what's new in Auto Ops, some things in Steer, some things that are coming, and we'll even talk about something called Steer Ultimate, and then we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. So I'm going to talk about some feedback that we've been given. You know, in the past, in some of our town halls, you've said to us, don't just tell us where you've been or what you've built already. We really want to know, like, where you're going. Tell us where you're going. You're here today. We're really grateful that you're here. We're going to tell you a little bit. So we'll blend a little bit of today on what we've done, but we're also going to talk about a bit about where we're going. And the where we're going, we're super excited about where we're going. It's just as much as the things that we've already done. So as we go through, let's jump into it and talk a little bit about kind of how we've got here and what we're going to do. So this is a sum of our team. This is a recent picture that was taken up in Boston of some of our team. This is about, I think if you count really fast, there's like 25, 27 folks there. That's only about a quarter to a third of our team. We have over 100 team members that take part in Steer, that help deliver the kind of products and features that you all are wanting. And the team is totally devoted to doing things related to building your business. I wanted to talk about this, why we do what we do. And this is important. And as we talk about these things, all these things go into us, not just inviting you here to a town hall that we can share some things, but also when we talk about why we get up every day and why that we do the things we do related to Steer and Auto Ops and our entire company. Well, the first, and when we think about that, is I love this definition of ultimate. Ultimate is, in terms of a noun, it's defined as the best achievable or imaginable of its kind, like the best thing. And when we think about why we do what we do here, we want to help you guys build the ultimate in auto repair shops. And when you think about when we think about, like, what does that mean to you? How to build the ultimate in a repair shop, something that is the best achievable thing that you can think about and imagine the most about your shop. What would that be? Well, we know things like helping you to be highly efficient, helping you to be highly effective, helping you to be highly profitable. But I'd love for you to throw in the comments, if you could, what is that next thing? What's that fill in the blank for you? When you think about what does it mean to be the ultimate in automotive repair shops, for my shop, for my shops, what's the ultimate? What does that mean to you in terms of, is it maybe you want to have community impact? Maybe you want to have employee satisfaction through the roof. Maybe you want to have the most complex technical and the most up-level technical team you can. What is the thing that you say that would help us, that would make us the ultimate in auto repair shops? If you have something, throw it in the chat. We'd love to see it. What kind of things are so important to you? And so as you think about those things, that's why we do what we do. We want you to be the ultimate in automotive repair shops. When we think about why, what do we focus on to make this happen? Well, first of all, the thing we focus on is we focus on the front of the shop. We're thinking about, when we think about this figuratively, we focus on the front of the shop, the things that we do to help you build your business. What we think about, figuratively speaking, that front area of your shop where you're dealing with customers coming in, customers going out, vehicles coming in, vehicles going out. But when we think about that front of the shop, what do we need to do to help you build customer engagement and relationship building? That's really important for us. So how about managing your reputation? But we also look out the front door. We also look out into the front door of your shop into the world. And we think about all the channels that your customers engage with you. They certainly engage with you with online scheduling, phones, websites, social media, physical print, and more, and all those areas. And I'm seeing some of those things that you guys are posting in there about I love seeing things like the ultimate customer experience, concierge, personalized individual service for the client. Those are the kind of things we love to hear, because especially as we talk about our focus on the front of the shop, we look and we say, we can help do those things. The third thing, though, in terms of what we do to make sure that you're building the ultimate of repair shops, is we partner with great shop management systems. Whoop. Did my slides go away? Autumn, are you able to put my slides back? Not sure.
Just got to ad lib it for the next
Yeah.
30 minutes.
All right. Well, yeah. Let me talk about that. So the last thing I mentioned is that we partner with great shop management systems. You know, we don't focus necessarily on the back of the bay. We don't focus on. Oop, I'm not sure. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
There we go. There we go. So what do we focus on to make that happen? Not sure what happened there, but great. So yeah, we partner with great shop management systems. We don't focus on the bays. We don't focus on the inventory, but we really want to make sure that in terms of the front of the shop and out the front door, we're doing everything we can to make sure you're building those kind of experiences that you guys are really talking about right now. I can see it all in the chat. That's great. So how do we make it happen? Well, first, we continue to build best-in-class products, hands down. And right now, as many of you know, you experience it with Steer, AutoOps, whether it's customer relationship or business building or online scheduling and conversion, we're building the best. You know, from our perspective, we want to deliver the best-in-class products. But, and I'm kind of say it to you today, we also know and believe we want to deliver more products for you to use. And I'm going to say this maybe as kind of an announcement. We're going to be expanding our product offering to ensure that you have the most seamless experience. Whether in any products or any channels that you deal with, we want to give you more products to be able to have the kind of experiences that you guys are talking about in the chat right now. And the last thing we want to do, and I know if I look down this list, I saw some of them already really quickly. We're going to continue to focus on best-in-class partnerships. Whether it's shop management systems, whether it's marketing companies, no matter who you are, we have other vendors that we work with that deliver other capabilities that power your shops. We want to also focus on best-in-class partnerships. All of you know, you've all heard the phrase, a rising tide lifts all boats. And I don't know, and I'm gonna ask my partners that are here today to post in the chat. Give me a thumbs up, give me an amen, give me something, because I don't know about you, but I know that we want to make sure that we're helping to achieve all of those things that the folks are posting in right now. We want to help do that. There you go, coaching companies, marketing companies. We have companies that deliver phone experiences. We have companies that deliver advertising experiences. All those, we're all together. We want to help all the shops do that together. So we're going to continue to focus on best-in-class partnerships. I want to focus on one specific area of what we're focused on. I'm sure some of you can remember the past days. Some of you know and used a road atlas in the past. Now, I'm a little bit older. Some of you younger here, you may never have. But back in the day, we used to actually have an atlas on our lap while we were an atlas, a map, a physical page map of the country, of a town, of the city, of a state. And then in the early 2000s, I'm sure some of you can remember, we started printing out MapQuest directions, and we would have turn-by-turn directions sitting on our lap in our car. And the last is some of you then splurged for the TomTom or the Garmin or there you go, Steve saying the AAA Trip Picks. Yeah, we all use those things that we had back because we didn't have anything else. But as you know, times have changed. Then came GPS on your phone, and we all have it. We have not just how to get there, but we have the traffic, we have the incident reporting like police or accidents, and we also have, hey, find me a restaurant on the way or a gas station on the way. We have everything that we need, live traffic updates, speed, all those things. Not sure what happened. Am I still here? There we go. And we have those all those term returns. Well, as many of you know, AI and large data are kind of what I call the new GPS. I think we all know that AI is no longer a buzzword. I'm sure some of you can amen that in the chat too. AI is no longer a buzzword. If you pick up your phone and look at your apps, you're going to see AI more and more appearing. AI is fundamentally changing the way we build our products and how you use them. And here at Steer, we're also changing. I can say this, figuratively, we do not want to hand you a map. I don't want to hand you a map. Have any of you, and I'd love to hear this, how many of you the last time you said, hey, what restaurant are we going to? And someone says, we're going to Olive Garden. You're like, Great. And the person starts to tell you how to get there. They start to tell you, well, go down this road, take a left, take a right, go this, go 3 miles. And yeah, and you're kind of like, you checked out long ago because you know you have the technology in your hand to get you there. At Steer, between our Steer and AutoOps platforms, we don't want to just hand you a map. Figuratively speaking, we want to give you the most efficient turn-by-turn directions to help build your business. And we want to help you to avoid the traffic and the accidents and the speed traps that can slow your business down. And what does that mean? So what's coming? Things like this. Hey, when you're in Steer and in AutoOps, here's a design that will help that help work for your holiday email campaign. Or, hey, we heard you mention to this customer while you were talking to them on the phone that you want to get them a quote for an alternator repair. Would you like me to remind you of that tomorrow? Or how about I just put the quote together and send it for you? Or let's launch a campaign together to get more trucks in the shop. Or, hey, your ARO is up 10% this week. Do you want to know why? That's how this is changing. That's how AI is going to help both us help you to continue to build the ultimate in repair shops. So as kind of a summary of that, we're going to continue to build AutoOps and Steer. We're going to build helpful and powerful features. We're going to be announcing brand new product offerings either before or in the next town hall. And AI will continue to be a lens through which we look at building and improving all of our products, knowing that we believe that you're expecting us to do this, and we're going to deliver. And we're going to deliver not just the ultimate in repair shop, the ultimate in automotive repair shops, but we're going to get you great results. And on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Steven. Steven's just going to talk about some things going on in AutoOps.
Yeah, in AutoOps world, it's only up and up. I know we announced this about a month ago that we hit 1 million appointments. It's crazy. We book this past Monday, we booked 7,903 appointments. It took us 8 months in our business to even hit that number, and now we book that a day. And we get excited not only because we know that the platform's working well, we know that we're obviously providing a really smooth conversion experience, but more if you look at let's say a $400 ARO, that's $400 million of value that we've generated for shops around North America. So this is there's tons of metrics, tons of guiding numbers for us, but being able to see how much revenue we generate for shops, being able to look at how many appointments we get divided by the number of shops, we want to get more appointments for every shop, obviously, if that's your goal, if you want to increase car count. So we've only seen this number ever go up and up, and it's only going to continue as we release new features. We want to make sure it's a smooth, even, and we're always back. I think to this point, we've done a good job at saying we want to add all this functionality to AutoOps and to Steer, and we need to do that in a way that still keeps it a super smooth conversion experience. So we're excited that we are truly the leaders in online scheduling. As far as I understand, no one books this many appointments for auto shops a day, even close. So we're excited to stay in the lead, especially when it comes to this single metric.
Yeah, no, it's great. And we're going to take a little bit of time right now to show you what's new in AutoOps. We have some new things. Now, we won't be able to show you everything today, so keep an eye out on our socials and keep an eye out things for other things. But I did want to pop over and just show you a few things. And we're going to show you a few things in AutoOps. We'll show you a few things in Steer. So hang on while we go through all these things. So here's, hopefully you can see AutoOps. Everyone, yeah, you can see AutoOps. That's great. So one of the things I first wanted to show you was about under our scheduling tool. I don't know how many of you have discovered that you can now create multiple issue trees. Your issue tree may not look there. When you go to under the scheduling tool menu in the AutoOps dashboard, you may not see this. You may just see something that looks like this. And there is a duplicate button in the lower right-hand corner. And when you duplicate it, you can now begin to create multiple scheduling experiences within AutoOps. Now you can look at here, I created one for, let's say, website tires. So you might want to use multiple scheduling experiences for different things. Maybe you have a marketing campaign that you say, I want to have a very specific scheduling flow for this marketing campaign because we're trying to produce these kind of results. Or maybe on your website, you have a specific area for tires or oil changes, or some of you are here and you have a detailing or maybe an auto body section of your website, and you want to have a different scheduling experience. You can do that. We even, for those of you using the AutoOps calendar, which I'll talk about in a second, you can even have a different scheduling experience for your AutoOps calendar, and I'll talk about why in a second. So when we go over here, you can actually see, I'm going to click on schedule appointment. Here's the traditional, and I call it back on here. Here is the default one. You can see this little flag here. This is the default one. So whenever you go to your website and you click on schedule appointment, you'll get the default one. But you'll see this, I have this thing URL at the top. I'm just going to load this one because you're going to see how I can launch an alternative scheduling experience. So in this case, now I stripped it down just so you could kind of see it pretty different, but now you can have a different experience here. So I can have just one that's maybe focused more on tires, alignment, and vehicle inspection. So you can create those multiple experiences to kind of get the results that you want. Now, I'm going to show you another thing that we've built into AutoOps. And by the way, let me actually go show one more thing. For those of you, I mentioned those you use in the calendar, the AutoOps calendar, under general, under calendar setup, under general settings, you can now choose which issue tree or which scheduling experience you want to use for your internal scheduler. So for those of you using our AutoOps calendar, if you're not using it, check it out. You also have, and some of you know, this is more for internal people, but you could create a scheduling flow that you want to use that's focused more on training maybe new employees on how to use AutoOps or how to book appointments. So say, hey, this is an efficient flow for booking appointments inside of our shop. So you can almost have a built-in training tool for your new employees, maybe your new service advisors or those who are actually taking calls. So you can use that multiple issue tree for that. Now, something else I want to show you, I'm going to jump back to our portal here. And this is our test shop. And I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to do a little bit with code here, but I want to see what you can do. A couple of things, we have this pre-selection capability. So you can actually now pre-select it. So you can pre-select options so that if you want to sort of guide the hand of a consumer or customer that's booking, you're able to do that. And maybe going one little step farther and a little bit fancier, we're now also offering this capability. So you can build out an actual, we kind of call this extended detail information within AutoOps. Now, I put a tire in here and you can put other details in here, but if you want to put some small ad or some small thing, this will carry through the AutoOps scheduling experience. So these are capabilities, we call these our pre-fill capabilities that you're allowed to actually provide a more rich experience. Some of you have already discovered, and we talked about this last time, our oil change, more extended capabilities with, sort of with oil changes or good, better, best options, but now you also have this extended experience here. So those are just some of the new things within AutoOps. I'm going to just show you two more quick things that some of you may have discovered already. We released these not too long ago, but one of them is under, if you go under availability and you go to services, we have this thing called service scheduling modes. Now, by the way, as I'm saying all these things, I also want you to remember AutoOps deploys or releases new features almost every day. Almost every day. Now, a lot of those things you might not be able to see, but a number of those things are things where you are able to, some things you can see, some things you can't, but we're doing it so often. So really back to here, just wanted to show you under the service scheduling modes for those of you who have specific services, maybe you do oil changes. So let's say just the lube oil filter, you have this scheduling mode, which is a date only. So maybe for certain services, you only want to have certain kind of scheduling. You can do date only, and we even have something called preference time slots, and you can choose what day. So you maybe want to say, I want to create a morning or an afternoon time slot instead of all these very specific times throughout the day, and you can do it for specific services. So once again, I'm going to finish up with one more thing, and then I'm going to turn it over to others on the team. But if you're using AutoOps Voice, we also have this voicemail analysis and transcription, which will give you sentiment analysis and some call summary information for your voicemails. This is just for your voicemails, and we're going to show you something in a little bit on the Steer platform as well. So I'm going to head back here, and we are going to hand it over to Stephen to talk about a brand new integration.
Great. Well, I think we have someone from the voice controller team on the call, so get it hyped up in the comments. But voice controller is a new integration of ours that we're super excited about. Voice controller made a fantastic, fully conversational phone AI agent. I think, and William, if you're on here, throw the phone number, a test phone number in the channel. It does a fantastic job at responding quickly, so there's no gaps, responding accurately. But what this integration does is it allows their phone agent to use our availability when determining when they can offer a time slot to a customer. And then it can actually take this appointment that's scheduled just via a conversation and push it directly into your shop management system. I know we're going to be working on even more things with them where it might be able to use our intelligence around deferred work. It might be able to prompt customers towards certain services. But there's a lot of people. I think there's probably 20 20, 30 shops that are already using this and are super successful just in the first few weeks. A big part of this is that 36% of appointments happen after hours. This is, I'm sure, hopefully this is shocking for some. I looked at last night between 12 a.m. midnight and 5 a.m. We had 522 appointments booked. 522 appointments. Instead of just leaving them with a voicemail, give them a conversational AI agent that's really smooth that can help book that appointment.
Awesome. We're going to go quickly through this as we think about all the different ways, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how our platforms are working together. I want to turn over to Tyler Wunderlich. He's our VP of Customer Success. Just talk about a little bit about getting steer results.
Yeah, steer customers had a really great Q1. When looking at our data, we saw the average steer shop builds $87,000 of revenue in Q1, by sending out really timely customized emails and text marketing campaigns. But the thing that, really caught my attention, this is something that I like to talk to our customers all the time about, is, really the retention of your shop, or excuse me, the retention of your customers. So a lot of companies, especially ones that I talk to, spend so much money in their marketing efforts, to drive folks to the website, to actually convert through auto ops to come into the shop. The average shop is actually retaining less than 50% of those new customers. However, steer customers are averaging 65% retention rate. Why does this happen? If you think about the mindset of a customer, the first visit is often driven by urgency, right? So something like, I'm coming in for an oil change or tire rotation, or an urgent, service that's required for the vehicle. That second time is because, they had a good price, good service. But if you're able to actually get that customer in a second time, we see that lifetime value get up to, 7+. So, investing in all of the tools and using the tools that you have available in Steer, such as those customizations as they relate to your texting and your emails, they really paid dividends. And, Steer customers really took advantage of that. So I know Steve's going to be talking about some more features, things that we're going to be, building out to drive those metrics even further.
Yeah, and we're continuing to integrate between AutoOps and Steer, and we're continuing to build out all of these integrations. We talked about the voice control integration. We talked about, when we think about results in Steer, we want to make sure that on both our platforms you're getting a ton of value. And the things that Tyler just mentioned on our Steer platform, by the way, and it's not just the sales pitch, but honestly, as you're building the ultimate in auto repair shops, make sure that you're at least contemplating all the different ways that you're going to be able to touch and impact your customers to build your business. So one of the things that we have built out, we introduced in 2 town halls ago, we introduced the integration with Pit Crew Loyalty in AutoOps in the scheduling experience, but now we've integrated it also on our Steer side to make sure that you're actually able to use sort of those rewards balances in campaigns, either in filtering and finding, and also in using them in those campaigns. So a lot, once again, we talk about our best-in-class partnerships. Really thankful to the Pit Crew Loyalty team as we continue to build our integration, both on the AutoOps and now on the Steer side as well. Another way that we're sort of bringing our platforms together to make sure you're getting value, the kind of value that Tyler talked about, the kind of value that Steven talked about, is we are now, for those of you, which I love, and I know on the AutoOps side, we get super excited whenever we see shops calling those leads. You see those leads in the upper right-hand corner. So those of you who know the AutoOps dashboard, you know that you can get those leads where those people who are booking an appointment, they abandoned their booking. They went away, they got busy, they got distracted. Well, really soon, you are going to be able to have automated follow-up of those abandoned bookings. So whenever someone does it right now, some of you are good about, I'll be doing a demo regularly, and I kind of get a little bit far on a shop's website, or I'll be testing something, and I'll regularly get calls from the shop saying, hey, do you need your Acura fix? And I'm like, oh, and I laugh a little bit and say, that's so awesome that you're using the leads. But now you're actually going to be able to say, I can automate that. You can certainly continue to manually do it, but you can also automate those follow-ups if you want. And that's coming really soon. That's sort of a crossover between the Steer and the AutoOps platforms.
And Steve, I was just going to add real quick too. I know I was telling you, I think yesterday, about 1-800-Flowers. I was starting to order my mom flowers for Mother's Day, and something happened. I left my computer. A few hours later, they sent me a text, but they did it in such a nice way. Like there's definitely a right way to do it. They did it the right way. They gave me the link. I clicked right in, and then 2 steps, boom, flowers were out to mom. But this is the type of technology you really got to think about, going into 2025, 2026, that your customers are going to love, and it's definitely going to help raise the revenue and raise your standards as well too.
So. Yeah, and all of us are getting used to shopping cart abandonment. when you leave it and you get an email or a text message that says, hey, did you forget something? And that's kind of, we want to make sure, especially when we talk about a car that's having an issue and you want to say, hey, we wanted to reach out to you because, you know, your brakes or whatever, your tires are an important part of your vehicle and so on. So you can, the more you can automate that, the more you can follow up, the better. Great. I'm going to turn it over to Gabriella. Gabriella, she is our VP of product for both Steer and AutoOps, and she's going to talk about, keep going on that theme of call stuff.
Thanks, Steve. So you spoke about earlier about how AI is the new GPS, and we really want to bring that same mentality of easy navigation, easy decisions to phone calls. Phone calls is where a lot of stuff happens. Your customers call, they ask questions, they get prices. It's really kind of where they decide whether they trust you or not. And so we really think it's important that it's fully part and connected to your CRM. We have two really great features that are already live with shops using them. The first is CallerID Plus. So imagine you get a phone call and you can instantly see all the customers' details, their vehicles, what their deferred services are, and don't even have to ask those questions. The second is call intelligence. This is really after the call, giving you insight into what calls maybe didn't do so well, where the upsell didn't land, your team needs coaching on how to offer better appointments, or maybe just the customer needs follow-up because it didn't go so well. So really, the idea here is that it can save you a lot of time. You don't have to sit there and listen to every recording. The Steer AI is surfacing those calls that maybe need a little bit more attention. Next slide. All right, I am going to jump straight into a demo of CallerID Plus. So what I have here is my test shop, and I'm going to act as the customer and really show you what this looks like. I'm going to call this test shop using my phone. And in just a moment, you'll see my customer profile, Gabriella, and you see it'll pop up on screen with all of my vehicle information. All right. So this is really awesome in that it puts everything in the fingertips of the person taking that phone call. So I can go in and see this person has 2 vehicles, even that they have work that is due. They need an oil change. They need a state inspection, which is great because they do have that appointment scheduled for tomorrow for an oil change. Or maybe that they had recently visited and deferred a brake job. You can even come in and see previous notes, which sort of puts you just in a better spot to have a more productive conversation. So they were waiting on a bonus to take care of that brake job. I might have a conversation with them about adding that to the existing appointment as well. This call pop-up exists whether you have Steer open or not. So you get notifications to your phone or to your computer. You can click in and easily see the information in Steer, but also you can click around Steer. So if you want to go check out your calendar, see where there might be an open slot to book an appointment, that all works there as well. Like I mentioned, these features are live in production, both CallerID Plus and Call Intelligence. We have real shops that are using them. You can see a quote on screen. They do integrate into your existing phone system. So we are currently integrated in with RingCentral. We have a few more that are coming out very, very soon, but we have a lot more planned in the pipeline as well. So we want to hear from you what phone systems you're using. Please comment. Even if you've told us before, we want to hear it again. What's your phone system? And the more we see it, we'll be able to build it next.
Yeah, just to underscore that, throw whatever phone system you're using in the chat right now. That'd be really helpful for us. Yeah, we knew we were going to see things 8x8. Some of you are going to be on RingCentral. Some of you are other. Maybe you're just using Spectrum VoIP or Cox Communication or any one of those. Let us know. C3CX, Dialpad, Nextiva. Yeah, those are all great. Keep them coming. Yeah. So like Gabrielle said, we're going to be. We have it available for RingCentral right now, and we're going to be coming out with, I think, about 3 others in the next little bit. We'll have Gabriella give us a date at some point on that. But yeah, coming out very soon. So yeah, we're super excited about that. Thanks for putting in there too. I'm going to talk about the next thing. The next thing I'm going to talk about is what we call our opportunity hub. So when we think about how do we help deliver value to you so that you can continue to build your business. And this goes back to the thing I talked about with the next GPS. Instead of handing you a map, yes, does the Steer have great filters and great reports and great things that you can find stuff? Sure. But what we really want to make sure that we continue to do is make it easy, give you turn-by-turn directions, if you will, how to get to those valuable, not to sound corny, gems within your business. We're coming out with the Opportunity Hub. You're going to see this very soon. The Opportunity Hub is where we're going to sort of percolate or bubble to the surface what we believe is to be your highest value opportunities. And we're going to look at a number of different metrics. And eventually, we're even going to allow you to kind of turn the dial of what's most important to you. We're going to give you opportunities that you can pick up the phone and call. Let me show you actually, I think I have a screen here too. Yeah, where you're going to literally be able to pick up the phone and call, let's say Corey at the top about his Tesla, or Brandon, who was abandoned booking, or Alfonso, who has his Lexus. You're going to see some, we call them, score signals, or signals as to why they're high valued opportunity. We're going to even give you a talk track. You'll see that talk track where it says view track. You can even get a talk track that we develop for you to say, hey, Corey, your Tesla, blah, 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 needs this and this and this. And you're going to be able to use this Opportunity Hub, not only to see your highest ranked opportunities, from highest ranked to quote lowest ranked, but you're going to be able to, given the tools, to be able to act upon those. And I don't know, Greg, you've talked to me about sort of like rainy day activity. Is that kind of what you've talked about in the past?
Yeah, so a lot of shops I talk to, that they call it their rainy day folder. So they're having a slow day, the cars aren't pulling up to the bays. This would be a great tool to find, 5 or 6 customers that'd be perfect to reach out to, just to try to get them in through the bays. They might have deferred services. They might be a super valuable customer that has a high average repair order, but we can really target these customers and have customized messaging to get those customers in.
Yeah. And the thing with this opportunity board is you can not use it, or you can use it to try to say, hey, I want to sort of like be proactive in getting, increasing my car count. And then you're going to have those tools over on the right that won and lost. So maybe you want to be able to keep track of what's been worked on or what's been won or lost. And then I'm going to turn it over to Gabrielle in a second to talk very quickly about sort of this to do, because we want to make sure that we're not just giving you sort of highlighting these opportunities, but making sure that you can sort of work it where you need to work it. Some of you may say, I just want to make calls, and if they do, they don't. If they do, they're great, not. But some of you may say, hey, I want to actually kind of do a little bit of work on this. So Gabrielle, can you talk quickly about just the to-do part of this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we hear a lot from shops. I have conversations. People are using spreadsheets, Slack integrations, maybe shared inboxes, even sticky notes pasted to monitors. And that works. It honestly does, until it doesn't. Maybe you have employees stepping on each other's toes. They're calling the same customer twice, or they just get busy and forget, and you don't have visibility into what phone calls they're making. Were those phone calls successful? Where can you optimize? Like, where's the best places, or who are the best customer lists to be spending your time on? And so really wanting more visibility there. And can we just go next slide? This to-do system really helps you assign those actions, those calls to specific employees, and get full visibility into how those tasks went.
Yeah, that's great. Gabrielle, Gabrielle, why don't you talk just quickly about after hours replies? I know we've got, and for those of you who are here still, in terms of, we're going to try to leave, we'll be wrapping up in about 5 or so minutes, and then we're going to have time for Q&A, and we're excited that hopefully you can stay for some Q&A.
Yep. So last one, but I think something a lot of shops really experience. We looked at our data, and if you have 1,000 text messages that come in, 90 of those will come in after 7 p.m. And only 63% actually get responded to within 12 hours. That's really a missed opportunity with the customer, and it really erodes trust. They expect those messages to be responded to quickly. They have questions that they want answered. And so with after hours replies via text, the customer will get an instant response. It is customized exactly to their response, powered by AI, but also the tone of voice, what you want to include. Do you want booking links, etc.? That's all controlled by you.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to turn it over to Tyler in just a moment. Once again, just really quickly, we'll probably be able to spend, 15 minutes if those of you are here and you want to ask questions. We're going to do that in just a second. I'm going to turn it over to Tyler, who's going to talk about Steer Ultimate.
So Steve has sort of been teasing this idea of Ultimate, throughout the course of the presentation, and we're extremely excited to announce that we're building the actual a plan that we're calling the Ultimate Plan. So all of the features that you just heard about, from CallerID Plus to some of the sentiment analysis, the opportunity scoring, to-dos, those things are all going to be included in this ultimate plan. And the thing I want to call out is, a lot of the things specifically around opportunities, most people aren't doing, right? Everyone that, is a Steer customer, the people that are, ultimately on this webinar, you all are the folks that want to make your businesses better, to find those opportunities to generate revenue. And we really want to supply you with those tools to do such. So, you'll hear, in a couple minutes about, how to actually sign up for this. But, to sort of be to go ahead, we essentially have this early access program that we're going to be able to get you into. So if you go to the next slide, you'll see a QR code that you'll be able to join an early access program. So what exactly does this mean? You'll be able to access these tools completely free up through July 31st. So see how they work for your business. As Steve mentioned, we already have a couple of folks that are already using a number of our tools already that we've gotten really great response from. We'd love to see how it works for you all. And don't be surprised if your success manager or myself or someone else reaches out, to get some questions to make sure that it's set up correctly for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so make sure you scan that. So a lot of the features that we talked about today will be part of that ultimate package, that ultimate level of Steer that we have. And we'll continue to keep an eye on our socials. If you're not following us on our socials, make sure you do that. It's important so that you can just hear the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to try to do a better job in the spirit of full disclosure, just being vulnerable. We're going to make sure that we do a better job at continuing to keep you all up to date with not only, as I've talked about, what we've already done and what we're sort of already built, but also what's coming. Not only we tried to do that in this town hall today, but we're going to try to do it on our socials, try to do it in different places, make sure not just getting the latest updates, because like I said, we're updating stuff all the time. We may not make it like included in this town hall, but we certainly want to make it. We're going to do a better job at making sure you understand what we have and what's coming. And so we're gonna transition here to a Q&A time in a second. But on behalf of myself, I know Parker, our CEO, I think is here as well. Stephen, Greg, Tyler, Gabriella, and others. We are really grateful. We're really grateful that you're part of what we're doing. And maybe better said, we're really grateful that you allow us to be part of what you're doing. And in that, I know that there's always things. We'd love to hear ideas. If you have ideas, if you can hang around for the Q&A, we'd love to hear any ideas that you have. But we listen. We want to have big. I say it to my team all the time. I want to have big ears. I say it about myself and my team. I want to have big ears. Really listen, so that we're making sure we understand what's it going to take for you to build the ultimate in auto repair and an auto repair business. So. Thank you for taking time to come. Please stay. If you can stay, I know some people, we want to respect your time. Please stay for this. Yeah, that's great, Scott. I'm just looking at the questions. For those of you who want to stay, we'd love for all of you to stay for the Q&A time. We're going to transition to that right now. So yeah, someone just asked, will AutoOps ever integrate with Mitchell? I assume you're meaning Mitchell 1, and the great answer is, I think that was one of our first integrations ever. So the answer is, yes, we do. And yeah, exactly. If you're Scott, if you're having any issues, so please feel free. I know our team, and I'm going to turn it over to, I'm not sure who's here from our team to help facilitate sort of some of the questions that have come in. I haven't seen all of them, but I want to make sure that we go through this. We'll try to go through if you asked questions earlier that haven't been answered. So I'm not sure if Marisha or Autumn or someone is here that can start give us questions that we should be answering.
I know there's an auto body shop management system called Mitchell. I don't know if that's what he was asking about.
Oh, is that, yeah, Scott, we talking about Mitchell. Is that like, that's not CCC Mitchell, is it?
No, but there's an auto body one, I believe. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
Yep.
Great. Well, I'll just start answering the ones that I see, and then I think they're putting them on the screen. Tim asked, are you guys planning to launch your own phone system? Well, let me just talk about in the spirit of best-in-class partnerships. As many of you know, we talked about, now voice control is not a phone system. They're just one part of a phone system. We do, I don't know if David from Inbound is here, but we do a lot with Inbound. To answer your question as honestly and as forthrightly as I can, Tim, we certainly, that is something that we are looking at to say, how do we make sure that we deliver? I would say this, come to the next town hall and let us talk about how we believe that we can deliver the most value. Let me just make one more comment to all of you that are here. there was probably a time a number of years ago, and I've spent a lot of time in this sort of the scheduling space. There was a time in a number of years ago that I thought the phone was going away. And I didn't think it was going away totally, but I thought, oh, it was going to radically reduce. But I'm telling you, there's still a lot. And when we think about phones, what we think about is, how do we think about phones from the minute you answer or make a call to the time that you have a vehicle in the shop and invoice it? How do we make sure that we're helping you understand the full journey from first time talking to first time repair? And we want to make sure that throughout that, we're doing everything we can to help coach up, that we can deliver tools that can help coach and inspire the team, your teams, to be able to deliver in the best kind of service. Those are the things we think about phone systems. So Tim, please come next time. Let us talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, we are excited to continue to play a part in your telephone solution. William Newkirk says, when are they going to combine AutoOps and Steer? And William, you can put it in the comments. Are you saying like our dashboard, the specific dashboard? Is that what you're asking? I assume that's the case. Yeah, William. So the answer to that question is yes. That is part of our plan. It's certainly no small undertaking, but we are also we're going to be providing, first of all, very soon, I would call it combined sign or single sign into both. So you sign into AutoOps, so you don't have to re-sign to Steer or vice versa. So that's definitely coming very soon. And the second thing is, how do we begin to put more of the experience that you need in one place? And that's something that we're also going to be working. So the answer is yes. I'm not sure, Gabriella, you can nod yes, yay, nay. We're not prepared to necessarily talk about a schedule for exactly when it's going to be combined, but we definitely want to make this seamless experience. Even if it's like we combine them into a single Chrome tab or Edge tab that you can have multiple tabs within there. So we are doing some things to be able to combine them to make your lives a little bit easier in that area.
I'll just say, even what you saw today of getting those abandoned bookings, those exit forms into Steer, starts to bring things together and make things easier. And that's in that same vein.
Yeah. Mark asks, is the easy follow-up, I assume he meant to abandon bookings, going to be set as a campaign or easy turn-on feature? Yes, it'll absolutely be. And I'm not sure if there's an either or, but yes, it's an easy turn-on feature. Set the campaign for your sort of abandoned bookings, and it will automatically text or email the person who abandoned the booking.
So if you're familiar with the Steer appointment notifications, it'll live right in there. You have the easy toggles on and off. You can edit all the content that sends out to customers as well.
Yeah. Kevin, thank you for that. I'll take it as a compliment just a comment about that. But I want to just, because Tim asked a little bit ago, are we going to be doing a phone system? Well, I can say what we absolutely 100% definitely are doing, which is we're going to be integrating with existing phone systems. So phone systems that we're able to, and that's the key. I hope you all understand, certain phone systems that just don't have the technical capability to be able to integrate. So certain things, like if you have a Verizon landline, obviously we can't really integrate with that. But if you're using ones like Ring Central, or think about Dialpad or 8x8 or Grasshopper or 3CX or Nextiva and so, those are ones that we will be able to, and we're going to do the best we can in order to integrate with some. But we do know that some of you don't have that. And I would say this, just echoing back to Tim's question, that's what we're going to have an answer one way or another. We want 100% of you on this call today to be able to take advantage of our phone capabilities, our CallerID Plus and our Call Intelligence. We want all of you to be able to take advantage, and we will have a solution regardless of what phone system you use. Even if you're using an old landline, to some degree, we will be able to, we're coming with a solution that's going to allow even you to take advantage of some of the things that we're doing. So keep an eye out. We're going to talk about it soon. But like I said, our goal is to both integrate and support, no matter what phone system you're on, no matter what you have, we're going to be able to provide you some capabilities. So keep an eye out. Yes, and Tim, just to be clear, currently to access caller ID and info, you need to use Ring Central. That's for today. But give us 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll have option 2 available. Hopefully I didn't just, Gabriella will throw something at me later, but I think 2 to 3 weeks is a safe thing to say. Great. Can you give a manager at one store that is closer to another ability to access both store calendars for appointment booking without giving them admin access? And the answer to that question is, I assume you mean in the AutoOps dashboard using the AutoOps calendar, Steve. I'll just assume that's what you mean. And if that's the question, that is yes, we can. Yep, and that's just if you go to the users and the roles within AutoOps, you're able to set one user to have certain roles, certain access, and the others some to have access, some to not. Great. Rory said, is there a new call reporting that is offered with the CallerID Plus? Gabriella, you want to try to answer that?
As part of Call Intelligence, there is reporting on all of your calls, including were appointments offered, was that appointment booked or not. That is sort of our initial version. We'll be adding a lot more reporting as we continue to add more and more to these call features as well. So this is just the first phase of many. If there's something specific you're curious on for reporting, maybe it's something like tracking phone numbers for different channels, post it in the chat as well, and I can answer those questions.
Great. Tim asked, sorry, Tim, I'll get to your question in a second. I just saw you put in. Yes, you need to use it at the, yeah, we have that one. I think, Tim, yeah, you have to use RingCentral for today, but within weeks to a month, you're going to have other options available to you. But did I say another question? Go to the next question. Yeah, do we have to sign up each location for Steer Ultimate? Tyler, do you have to sign each location to Steer Ultimate? Can you sign up all at once?
Yeah, I mean, you could do all at once. We make it very easy for you. It's very easy to start up too.
Excellent. Great. Is the ability to see customer profiles pop up when they call available now? It is, John, for those of you on RingCentral, and I'm going to answer Tim's question. Are you able to disclose who option 2 will be? Option 2 is a sort of like a fast thing for us. We're going to be using what's called a pass-through method to be able to pull off incoming calls and call recordings using a third party, so that no matter what phone system you have, you will be able to leverage this. So Tim, it's kind of a general answer, which is we're going to be using a third party to power anybody. Now, there'll be some limitations with that. That's why we're going to continue to make integrations 3, 4, and other options that we're going to be coming to you with more specific to a phone system. So I think, I don't know, I'm not sure if David from Inbound is here, but we're going to be building an integration with Inbound for those of you who's Inbound or others. We are looking at other ones as well. And when we have those of you, I ripped them off. I can rip these off my head because we're looking at them actively, which is like the 8x8s, the dial pads, the Nextiva, 3CX, and it goes down the list. So, iPhone days. Yes. Justin said, I worked at a pizza place 20 years ago that had a scheduling program that would analyze and predict high volume days. Does something like this exist for the automotive world? If not, why and when? First of all, I love that question, Justin. Great question. Not just because you're kind of insinuating 20 years ago that someone could do it 20 years ago. Why can't anyone do it today? And the answer to the question is absolutely, it's possible. And when I talked about sort of like for Steer, we're looking at like, as we look at AI, predictive intelligence, all those things, that's for us, those are the things that are really resonating. And I don't care whether it's an old school thing like, and I say old school, whether it's an old school phone or a postcard, and I say old school, they're not really old school. They're just, they've been around for a long time. We believe that we can bring more intelligence. And what you're asking is absolutely something we can do. And something I'll just be vulnerable about something that we've talked about internally, which is how do we develop sort of automated campaigns, or I don't say automated like they're going to send, but automated campaigns that are actually triggering you to say, hey, these are typically your low days, or maybe these are patterns that we're seeing that we can give you something to action upon. So those are the kind of things that we're seeing and that we want to do to either round out or smooth out those ups and downs, the peaks and valleys in your business, but also how do we adjust our scheduling to make sure, and by the way, AutoOps has a ton of intelligence built in to make sure that and if you're not using AutoOps and all the capabilities we have related to appointment capacity and availability, make sure you're using those things, because we kind of know what's going on in the shop just by the integrations that we have to make sure that we're giving you the smoothest scheduling experience as well. Yes, I just want to make a quick comment about what Kevin just said. Kevin, I love what you just said. He said, I'm excited to use AI to empower our staff, but you have to be careful. And we totally get that. And we understand that we're going to try to do the best we can to try to say, how do we bring you? Because once again, we don't want to hand you a map that you're like, I don't have to read the scale and flip the pages and highlight the stuff I want to go. But at the same time, we recognize you still need to drive the car. You need to drive the car. So we want to make sure we do both. So can we build Steer campaigns for leads that are not yet customers? Gabriella or someone or Greg, you want to answer that? Anyone want to answer that one?
We can make campaigns for that are not yet customers. So we'll be able to do it based off of those auto ops abandoned bookings, or if you you can upload customers via CSV into Steer, or if they're coming through from your shop management system, there's ways to filter and build lists in Steer that identify customers who have never visited.
Yeah.
It really just depends on who you're trying to target and how.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, David, for giving me that word I was struggling to find. Established methods of running your business. Yes. Will Steer analyze pain threshold for deferred services and apply such to coupons? That's a good question. Gabrielle, you have any thoughts on that one? The pain threshold for I assume you mean, by Justin, do you mean the pain threshold? Do you mean like how serious of an issue that the deferred service might be?
I think he's just saying like at the point that someone is price sensitive to where they are very low likelihood to get the service done. It would definitely take a lot of intelligence to get to that point and know when to auto apply coupons. But I guess we never say never, but it's probably not next week. But
we are looking at different ways of analyzing customer behavior, their propensity to buy, these sorts of things. And that would apply not just to should you do outbound phone calls to them, but also what types of messages would they get. So something like this would absolutely apply. But to Stephen's point, not there quite yet, but absolutely something we're investing in.
It looks like he just mentioned price sensitivity.
Yeah, that's what Stephen was saying. Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great thing. And I think, Justin, one of the things that an example of where you could see that pop up is like in our talk tracks for the Opportunity Hub. Now, there could be also within the shop, if you're looking at someone right in the face and you kind of know based on their past or this or that, there may be some price sensitivity. So we're going to build those things into whether it be scripting that we give, talk tracks, things like, or just signals that we give to say, hey, there are sensitivity to that, offer them this right now. So. And by the way, because we have auto ops that pulls in sort of deferred work and does it through scheduling, we might even be able to do triggers in there when we're saying, hey, add this, add this, add this. And we might even be able to have a dynamic coupon right there to say, hey, if you add this, we'll give you $25 off this service. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions that are coming in? I don't see any pop up on our screen, but I want to make sure. Maybe they're feverishly, our team's feverishly looking over the chat log to see if the chat to see if there's anything in there. Great. Where can I see a list of current integrations? A couple different places. You can go to our websites. You can go to one of our websites, steercrm.com. I think there's an integrations or partners page there. And within AutoOps dashboard, there is a partner apps section. I think it's under the general tab, partner apps. And that's where we see all of our what we call best-in-class partnerships. And by the way,
name within Steer, there's under settings, there's an integration section, so you can see them across shop management systems, marketing, etc.
Yep. And also, just quick note that I just had mentioned, I don't know if they're here, but I know we mentioned Pit Crew is we've integrated Pit Crew on the Steer side. We have BayIQ and Pit Crew both in AutoOps, but on the Steer side, we're going to be adding BayIQ here at some point. So. Great. Any other questions? I know we're coming up on 2 minutes before the hour. We want to respect your time. We're definitely appreciative for all the questions. It's been awesome. Any other questions that have come in? I'm just kind of scanning. Does anyone else see any questions? If Steer could pull in Carfax data, you could possibly target those 100,000 Honda no timing belt customers. Yep. That's great, Steve. Yeah, we talked about Carfax often. How do we use that data for a number of different reasons, but absolutely. Yeah. Is there something in the pipeline to take appointments and schedule by type desired? Is there something in the pipeline to take appointments and schedule by type? Justin, give me just a little bit more on that, unless somebody else on the team understands what Justin is asking. I just want to make sure I'm sort of getting it. Brakes, for example, instead of oil changes. And schedule by type. To take appointments and schedule by type. So we do have, Justin, I want to make sure you know on the AutoOps side, we do have the ability to say, thanks, Tim. Yeah, appreciate it. We do have something that you can say, we do take a certain number of oil changes. I'm not sure if you're talking about capacity by service type. We do have that built in auto ops already. Just want to make sure, oh, I see what you're saying, to like govern the number of appointments by a certain thing. There are certain things that we can do. So yes, if you look at the blockers, we call them the blockers under the availability menu in the dashboard. It's not by percentage, it's by like, so you can cap out the number of oil changes that get booked in a certain period by day, et cetera. So you can do that, but it's not percentage. So it's maybe not exactly what you're saying, but we do have sort of like number. Yeah, we do have numbers. So you can go in there, create something and say, I will take this many alignments because I have one alignment rack and whatever, or I take this many oil changes. Yep. Great. Well, we are right at the top of the hour. So appreciative for all of you. We do, I think people said it, we do have a recording of this that will be going out. We are grateful for all your times that you could spend with us on behalf of the rest of the team. So thank you. So we're so grateful that you could be with us, and look forward to seeing you in the next town hall, where we will even talk about more, not only about what we've done, but also about where we're going. So great.
Thanks for joining, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.